Okay, so like a lot of you, I saw the trailer for JellyStone, which is set to debut on July 29th, 4 days after my birthday, on HBO Max, and then potentially going to be airing on Cartoon Network. It is created and inspired by the people behind the series Chowder, which was a popular series, surprisingly, in my opinion. I mean, it had its good moments here and there, but seriously, it didn't really appeal to me that much. But JellyStone here is a different story, because this is a series. This is a series featuring characters that I grew up on. My mom grew up on. My sisters grew up on. My niece, in a way, grew up on. And so did my nephew, my two oldest out of the nephews and nieces that I have. You know, we all grew up on these characters. And when I saw the trailer, be honest with you, I don't know. I mean, I like the idea that they're trying to bring these characters back and reinvent them and represent them for a more modern era. You know, I appreciate that. I can respect that, which is why I'm willing to give it a chance. But I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, this feels like, as crazy as it sounds, a sequel to Yogi. Yeah. Think about it. Yogi had JellyStone Mall, and basically it was set in a city, I guess, called JellyStone, as well. And now you have this, which is a series based in a city called JellyStone. I don't know what to say here. And apparently, I don't know if these are going to be broken up into segments. They might be. I don't really know. But, you know, you got a lot of characters here that you would expect and you wouldn't expect. For example, you have Johnny Quest and Haji. Yeah, Johnny Quest and Haji. You have that Genie character from one of the action cartoons that Hanna-Barbera did back in the 60s. I can't think of his name right now. You got him in there. You got the Banana Splits. I could probably accept the Banana Splits maybe as, you know, being part of, you know, this, you know, because they're anthropomorphic, but you got them in there. And then of course you have the cabaret, or whatever you want to call it, the cast that you would expect in the cavalcade or cavalry, if you will, characters that you would expect in a series called JellyStone. You have Yogi, you have Cindy, you have Boo Boo, you have Al Kabong, Quick Draw McGraw, you have Huckleberry Hound, you have Snagglepuss. You know, you have the ones you expect. You know, you even have Jabberjaw in there. But speaking of Jabberjaw, though, this is where it gets really interesting. This is where it gets really interesting, because I was reading a post on DeviantArt of somebody talking about this, and it didn't really catch my eye, so I did another rewatch of the trailer just moments ago, and I can see why some people might be upset. Now, when I read this, and then I saw what they were talking about to back up what they were saying, yeah, it was surprising, it was jarring, but when I really think about it, and I think we all should think about this, we're now in a time and a place where you can't just have one or two female characters in there. I mean, they're scheduled to have Dee Dee Sykes in there, which is great, but you can't have one or two or maybe three female characters. You gotta have a decent amount. So what's the obvious answer to make sure that JellyStone is a series of diversity and of gender equality? What do? You take some established, well-known male characters and you change them from male to female. that's what you do. And they've got a list of characters, because I'm thinking, okay, the person on DeviantArt's the person with the DeviantArt post said, Jabba Jaw. But then there was one character that stuck out during the thumbnail that HBO Max put up when they uploaded the trailer for the series. Loopy the Loop, the wolf. Now, anybody that's followed Hanna-Barbera knows that Loopy de Loop, the wolf, is a male character. And he always has been. Not this time. Because Loopy de Loop is going to be female. How do they do this? They take his snow cap that he had on his head, turned it into a beret, and basically gives him eyeshadow right in the eyes right here. And he gets a more feminine look. And I saw this and I'm thinking, I know who that is. I know the name of the character. And I'm willing to accept this change. I'm willing to accept it. But that's not where it ends. It doesn't just end with Loop. Oh, no. It doesn't just end with him. Because there's more. And I'm going to list you off a few of them. Because there's more. So, we'll look up the cast here. Alright? So, this is a list of the characters that have gone from being male to female for JellyStone. Like I said, Loopy de Loop is one. Baba Louie. Remember Baba Louie from Quick Draw McGraw? Now Baba Louie is going to be known as Bobby Louie. That's Bobby with I-E at the end. Bobby Louie. And remember Hardy Har Har? Yep, Hardy Har Har is going to be female. Remember Choo Choo from Top Cat, the pink cat if you will? He's going to be, Choo Choo is going to be female. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 male characters, along with Jabba Jaw, and I'll get to that in a moment again. 5 that have been gender switched to female. But we're not done. We're not done. We also have Squiddly Diddly is another. So that's 6. Yeah. So they took 6 male characters, very well known male characters, as of recently, let's say as of Space Jam New Legacy, once they made cameo appearances there in the audience, they've taken them and turned them into female. Now, look, like I said, even though people don't like this idea of, studios taking established characters and changing their gender once they place them into a new series or setting, I can understand that because, they've been associated with one gender their whole careers or their whole existence. People that grew up on these characters have associated with them or associated them with those genders. Loop de Loop as male, Jabba Jaw, Squiddly Diddly, Baba Louie, Hardy Har Har, Choo Choo, we've all associated with them being male. But here's the thing. Like I said, we are now in a time in a society where pretty much having 1 or 2 female established characters in a series, new or not, is not acceptable anymore. because it's just wrong. It's just wrong. It basically shows that there's no equality gender-wise, and there's no true diversity. So what do? They decide to take established characters that have been known for being one gender over the other and switching them to give that show equality, to give that show diversity. And true, not a lot of us are going to agree with the changes. I get that. I mean, personally, it's just a change that, we got to accept, if you will. It's just a change we got to accept. And also the fact that when you think about it, Hanna-Barbera themselves, well, the Hanna-Barbera division, the Warner Brothers Animation, if you will, they themselves, through things like DC Comics and all that, have established that there are all alternate universes out there. So my opinion is to look at it this way. My opinion is you got to look at JellyStone as an alternate universe, and that in this alternate universe, certain male characters are female, and we can't do nothing about that. So we got to look. So for those of us that have a problem with it, look at my advice. Look at it as being an alternate universe. It's not the prime universe. It's not the universe that the prime Hanna-Barbera verse, if you will. That this is an alternate universe. This is something different. I mean, how many times have we seen movies based on the same characters show characters in a different way? I'm just saying. So my opinion to anybody that is not a fan of these gender switches, of these established character IPs, look at JellyStone. My advice is look at JellyStone and look at it as an alternate universe. That's basically what I'm trying to say is, that is basically how I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look at it as an alternate universe. I'm not going to look at it as being set in the prime universe or anything like that. I'm not going to play with the idea that these characters that are now being female, that have been switched to female, decided to go through some transgender operation or anything like that. I'm not going to view it like that. I'm going to view it as JellyStone being set in an alternate Hanna-Barbera universe, and that the Hanna-Barbera Prime universe is where the characters are still as they've always been known to be. So that's how I'm going to look at it. That's my advice to you guys. But yeah, I can understand that it's jarring. I can understand it's a lot of people feel it's not right, and that's your choice to feel that way. Me, it is jarring, but I'm willing to accept it if I look at the fact that JellyStone is set in an alternate universe. Because, as I mentioned, through various different kind of media that feature the Hanna-Barbera characters, it has been established, especially with Scooby-Doo, that there are alternate universes, out there, alternate versions of characters. And there is a Scooby-Doo issue that kind of, showcases this, with the showing various different versions of the Mystery Inc. gang, if you will. But yeah, I get that people are not too thrilled with this. I understand it, but I look at it this way. I look at the fact that just accept it as an alternate universe of Hanna-Barbera, an alternate Hanna-Barbera universe, and go from there. And I guarantee you, once you look at it that way, accept it like that, it might turn out to be a good show. Because if you look at it from that perspective, then to me it'll pretty much be easier to accept, because you'll realize, hey, it's alternate universe and not the prime universe. But let me know what your thoughts are. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on the live chat during the premiere. I'm willing to give it a chance, because I'm going to look at it as an alternate universe and not the prime. What about you? Let me know down below, and I'm out.